Here we go. William Krueger. It's episode 107 with the great Bill Krueger from Root Sports, all brought to you by Rise Above Foundation. He's got the Rise Above Golf Classic that is coming up. We're going to get more details on that at the end of the program, but we record this on May 20th. It's a lovely Monday. The weather's outside is perfect. It's baseball. The M's got a series starting today with the Yankees. William Krueger, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Did the Bad News Bears survive over the weekend?
Let's see. You want an update from Fisher Plumbing, the Ballard Little League? Yeah, we it got a lot of baseball. No, we lost both our games on Saturday. For some reason, we decided our Little League. I mean, we are playing, I'm going to tell you, a Major League Baseball schedule. Okay, we had a game on Tuesday. Now these are 11-year-olds, by the way. So okay, we have a lot of 10-year. We're a really young team.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of 10-year-olds, sprinkled with a few 11s and like 2 12s. Most of the teams we play are 95% 12.
Yeah, so you're playing up.
Yeah. So we had a game Tuesday, we had a game Thursday, and then a double header on Saturday. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, man, it's a little too much for these kids.
I think so.
I'm pitching. I mean, you have to limit all these kids on their pitching.
Right, you got to have a deep roster of pitching.
Ooh, yeah. Why can't it be
everybody practice pitching?
Why can't it be like softball where they could throw every day?
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Just have one dominant, a king in his court on every team.
Oh, yeah. God, that would be great. Yeah, so it was good. I'll say this, they were even though they lost both on Saturday, they were two great games. They were decided by 2 runs each, and fabulous defense and just great plays and great pitching, and it was like watching real baseball. So it was fun.
Good. Well, fantastic.
Wasn't a bunch of walks and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
all right.
That can happen.
Yeah. What'd you take away, Ems? Their first kind of one of these mini tests for them, Bill. They take on Baltimore for 3. They lose 2 out of 3. What was kind of your takeaway from that series against the Orioles?
Baltimore is very good. I think they're a better club than the Mariners. That's not a slouchy thing to say. I mean, the Mariners are good. But they basically, of the clubs we've seen, that's the best club we've seen. Minnesota's beat our pitching around, so they're pretty good too. And they play without Royce Lewis. I mean, those are the 2 teams they played that I thought, they got out, they were better. But everybody else they played, that includes Atlanta, Texas, I think they're better than those clubs. So this was a tough series. Baltimore's very good. Their frontline pitching snuffed us, and they knocked our starting pitching around. So hats off to Baltimore.
Is this, when you watch a series like this, is this a wake-up call to the organization, to the front office, as we get closer to the point of the season where we can add and acquire, that this is a clear sign that they need to add and acquire talent here if they want to continue to be in this race and face the likes of Baltimore's teams like this as they get closer to the postseason and into the postseason?
I honestly think it's our young starting pitching that needs to understand some things about how to pitch against an elite left-handed lineup. We've seen Gilbert try to beat people with the upstairs fastball and get his lunch in Minnesota, and we saw Bryce Miller and we saw George Kirby get the same thing happen to him. They're going to have to learn a little bit more of refining their game against elite left-handed hitting teams and warmer, smaller ballparks. These are just part of the learning curve for me as I look at them. That this high fastball and you get everybody out that doesn't happen. It just doesn't work. There's a time and a place for the pitch, and we saw it play out. Both of them got knocked around before they adjusted, right? So, yeah. So I think we got through the series basically without really, our bullpen didn't hurt us. I mean, Stanek came up and pitched the 8th when he really needed to, and Munoz pitched the 9th, and we were able to win the one close one. The other 2, it didn't matter. But to me, as we look ahead, it's more about what bullpen piece or 2 can we add, because we need to take our strength and make it stronger, as opposed to trying to figure out, hey, look, you got to figure out Julio's going to have to be figured out. We can talk about him. Garver's got to get better. Polanco's got to get out of the pool and back on the field, and he's got to be better. Okay, and in general, they got to get Crawford back. So I think that's where you have to think. as opposed to thinking about what can you add positionally to the team.
I want you to dive deeper, though, into what these starters need to do against a lineup that is more lefty dominated. Where do they need to attack more? And you mentioned kind of the high fastball. Where are they missing? And what are they doing wrong against a lineup like Baltimore?
Well, to come out and just try to go high fastball and win from the first pitch on, I don't think that's the answer. These guys can hit the fastball, and they like the fastball early. Baltimore can reverse the fastball. The whole lineup did it. And they sprayed them all over the ballpark. They slugged on them. And then, Bryce Miller, and both he and George Kirby adjusted. Bryce Miller went to sinking fastballs down and away and threw his split. And he piled up about five real nice innings after he got blasted. And then George kind of did the same thing. And he could have kept pitching in that game because he was pitching good. He started to sink the ball. He started to throw his curveball a little bit. I think Bryce Miller, he just needs to understand that, and all of them need to understand that down and away is where the easy outs live. Down and away. That's still where you want to pitch people. You want to elevate when you get ahead. But you got to be able to, and they're all searching for an out pitch besides the high fastball. And they've all developed the split. And for me, the split, I'm just not that big a fan, to be honest with you. I'd rather see them spend more time on a straight change and work harder to make their fastball, to give their fastball room. But they're taught everything's about swing and miss. Ooh, you got to have a big whiff. Everything's got to be a whiff. Not everything has to be a whiff. Sometimes you just want to take the guy off the fastball and have him hit a little dribbler or a pop-up and get him off your fastball and then come back with your fastball and have it look like your fastball. If it were me and I had George Kirby, I'd say that two-seamer is a great pitch. Let's focus on that pitch, control both sides with that. Let's throw your curveball, because you go back to last year when he threw his best baseball for this team. He went to the East Coast, and Boston was taking people and treating them like a slow-pitch softball game, scoring 10, 12 runs a game at Fenway. And he went out there and threw 6 or 7 innings of like one-run ball and just snuffed them at Fenway. Then he went into Philadelphia, one of the best hitting teams in baseball, maybe the best hitting team in baseball, and shut them out. 1 run through 8 or 9 innings. And he was throwing his curveball. And he threw it a little bit. He threw it in Kansas City. He threw it 12 times. Yesterday, he threw it a little bit at the end. And it gave him such nice contrast. That's what I would do. And I would say, hey, George, this whole fiddling with the split, having to set it every time, and all this glove wiggle and all this stuff you got to go through, stop. Sinking fastball, two-seam fastball with all that big movement, curveball, let's work on the straight change. Is he going to do that next start? No.
I knew there was going to be something that you did not like, because
and Bryce Miller can do this. He just needs to understand where he needs to be.
Okay,
we'll see where Logan Gilbert is. Logan Gilbert, I mean, from a guy that was 80% fastballs to a guy that's 30%. I mean, if that, that's got to change. He's got to figure out, well, how can I throw my fastball more? It's elite. How am I going to throw it more?
Why go more into why you're not a fan of the split? Are you just not for these guys?
It's a swing and miss pitch. It's a 50-50 at best. It's a 40% strike pitch. You're depending on whiff. What about teams that don't swing at that? I watched Baltimore just look at those pitches. They looked at George's pitch. They saw it out of his hand. He doesn't. It's not. To me, it's not the pitch for him. I watch it. I just see it coming out of his hand. It's. They just looked at it. They didn't even swing at it.
He looks at when you say it's when you
he
can.
Didn't have a good one, but I don't like it.
Yeah, but you can see it right away. The tell right away.
He's got better breaking stuff than the other guys.
Yeah.
He's got better. His slider. What's happening? He's got so many breaking balls. Plus, he's a power pitcher. We're stacking the deck. It's like Logan Gilbert's like the leader of the team. Hey, I got 6 pitches. I got 7. I got 8. I'm the next. I could go to Japan now because I got so many pitches. I mean. You're talking about at the end of your career you do this stuff, not the beginning.
Okay, so you want them to simplify. That would be your message to the start. Simplify. So if we're gonna okay, that's what I was gonna ask you. Is it 2 or 3? So it's 3 pitches.
3 pitches.
Give me the 3 pitches you want for Kirby.
Two-seam fastball, curveball, changeup, straight change, and he can have his 4-seamer. To me, fastballs are fastballs.
Yeah.
4-seam, 2-seam. That's one category. If you want to make it into 2 pitches. Sure, split it into 2 pitches.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay. What about give me Miller?
Miller, he needs to pick a breaking ball. He's got the slurvy curveball and the slider, and neither one of them are very good. That's why the split is such a good pitch for him. I keep the split with him. I go two-seam fastball, keep the split, because his breaking stuff is really shaky. What I like to do with him, I don't know. I mean, the slider, the thing that George did too the other day, he threw a couple cutters, and that was a better pitch than his slider, because his slider's kind of loopy and going across. He threw some 92-mile-an-hour cutters that look like nice tight slider. That's not a bad little pitch for him.
Okay.
As far as Miller, I would say fastball split, and the two-seamer. More, he's got both the two-seamer and the split, and then pick a breaking ball. He's got to pick one.
Okay.
Either refine the curveball or get better with his slider.
Okay. So do you have a preference? You'd steer him more towards the curve of the slider?
I'm not sure, because I don't know that he can learn the curveball. He doesn't have the right. He's got the slurvy breaking ball, and that's just like, man, if you miss with that on a left-hand hitter, that ball's in the second deck, man. It just stays on plane. It just comes right into the lefty's loop zone. It's danger. He's got to get his hand on top of that and make it go down more. So I would say probably slider at this point.
Can I ask you just a quick sidebar? This and listener and viewer, this is just for me, but there may be a parent out there. When is, I hear it all the time when it comes to youth pitching, when is there a right time for a kid to learn a curveball?
I think it needs to be based upon maturity, and I think you need to get arm strength up. I don't think it's a pitch you should be throwing in Little League. Let's just take Little League out.
Okay.
No curveballs in Little League.
Okay.
That's the rule, okay? And then we start to learn it. If we can learn to throw it correctly, we can start learning it, I think, at 13. See, if you wait until they're 16 or 17, they won't learn it. And they'll end up with a slider or a split. And those are the pitches that do more damage to your arm than the curveball does. So I think it depending on maturity and mechanics, 13, 14, I think you need to learn. I mean, it's not like you should be ripping them off. You should learn how to throw it. Learn how to make it spin. Not in Little League. Sorry for all those people that are trying to win at Williamsport. Good for you. That's your goal in life, to send your kid to Williamsport. What happens after that? What if he's great at Williamsport? What's left?
He's a used car salesman, is what he is, Bill. Okay, that's it. I'm just curious. We saw some of this weekend. I'm just curious because I've always
I would say learn the changeup, teach the changeup. Let's learn how to throw. We can throw that. We can start throwing that anytime.
Oh, that's what we teach. We teach the changeup for sure. All right. Okay. So we did Kirby, we did Miller. Now let's get to we'll get Castillo and Gilbert. Let's go go with Castillo. Castillo's 3 would be.
He's got 3.
Okay. So he's already
there. He's already there. He's unique. There. He's a unique customer. He's got this upshoot delivery like Brian Wu, except he's an all-star, and he gets that low arm angle and he shoots you up, and the ball looks like it's going to be on plane right down the middle, and it's 3 or 4 inches above your bat. It's unique, and in the age of the high strike zone, it's a real advantage for him. Slider changeup. He threw a lot of changeup this last start against Baltimore. A nice adjustment. I still like to see him kill it a little bit more, throw it, try to turn it over a little bit more, kill it a little bit more. But he threw 25 of them in 89 pitches. I mean, 30% was great. That's what he needs to do. He's got to keep people, especially those lefties, off his fastball. He can make it sink, and he can throw the ball upstairs and land the slider and the changeup. He's fine. Nothing to change with Luis Castillo. Just let him be the rock.
Okay, Logan Gilbert. The man that has like 19,000 pitches.
Mr. Gadget. Thomas Edison. Thomas has got aptitude off the charts. I mean, what an attitude. What a desire to be great. He's still go gadget, the long release point. That's what lets him win. His pitches don't have very good shape. They don't. None of them do. His slider's kind of loose. The split's kind of loose. The curveball, when he throws it now, he's lost his curveball. He had it last year at the same time Gilbert did. Then they went to the split, and there's so many pitches. Now his curveball. The other night when he finally gave up the homer, he threw a ton of them, and they just were like American Legion curveballs. They were terrible. They were just flat, and they were kind of spinning across, and they were just looking at him. They weren't even swinging at it. He's got a cutter. He's got a slider. He's got a curveball. He's got a split. He's got fastball. He doesn't throw a 2-seamer. He shouldn't, because he doesn't have 2-seam action. He's a 4-seam guy.
Okay.
I would say with him, I don't like the cutter. Pick a pitch. It's going to be the slider or the cutter. Pick one. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. The split, I guess, it's a strikeout pitch for him. So I would do with him is I would say, yeah, pick the cutter or the slider. So that eliminates one. Keep the split. Four seamer. Have a little more desire to command it. Don't be so scared. You got a great arm. He starts games and he throws his fastball in the strike zone, and then as soon as he gets through the lineup or even halfway through it, then he's never going to throw it for a strike. He only uses it for show, right? And that it catches up to you. Guy starts sitting on the other pitches, right? I would like to see him go back to the curveball and see if he can get something that's real more 12-6, get that big extension, and get something that just, 75, 80 miles an hour and just drop it in the strike zone. Just a nice big start, get you into the count pitch. That's what I would try to work with him on. That would eliminate a couple pitches. So we've taken away the curveball slider. It's one breaking ball, and this cutter. So cutter or slider, four-seamer, split's fine. And if he wants to noodle with a curveball to learn it for just a change-up pitch.
He's too much of a tinker for his own good.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's a wonderful attitude, works hard. He's going to be great, wants to be great discipline. Yeah. I just think that, jack of all trades, master of none, careful what you're doing. You're not at the end, you're at the beginning. I've given you the Orel Hershiser thing. We can say it again. Orel Hershiser, great pitcher, right? I can compete with one for a strike. I can win if I throw two for a strike. And I can dominate if I throw three for a strike. That is still true. Yeah. The problem is that we have analytics that say all this stuff about whiff. How many pitches can I have that whiff people?
Yeah.
And the whiff isn't all that it's made up to be. Sometimes it's just getting a guy out in front and getting a soft put in ball play, and then you turn the page. Having to go through your arsenal, every guy 3-2, every guy 3-2, pitch after pitch after pitch. And baseball loves it. They want you to just fill it up with all that whiff, and then we bring in the next knucklehead that throws 100 at the top of the zone. I'm telling you right now, if you really if starting pitchers went back to pitching one more inning per start across the league, averages would plummet. Because what would happen? The best pitchers pitching and not being told that it's the earth is flat, and after the third time through the lineup, you fall off the edge and you're gone with the dragons and the serpents, right? That's just not going to happen, okay? But get the better pitchers pitching one more inning, and then guess what happens? You eliminate the marginal guy. You get to the better guys at the end in your bullpen. That still makes sense. You want to have 13 guys out there. You want to have lawn chairs out there. That's fine. Eliminate the utility guy. That's fine. Let Cy France play second base. Why not? Why not? Sure.
Hey, do you know anyone that thinks the world is flat?
Kyrie Irving.
Like anybody personally.
He said moonlighting never happened, right?
Yeah, personally. I don't think I've ever met anyone personally.
Yeah.
That believes that.
Yeah, they maybe keep it to themselves. Maybe.
I've met someone personally who believes we haven't been on the moon,
right? And
that was a fun discussion. And I just had to walk away at some point and just we'll move on. We can talk about the weather if you'd like.
Yeah, that's good.
How you keep? Yeah. All right. Well, that was good. I'm going to tell you, that was 18 minutes. We're going in-depth pitching. That was nerd out pitching breakdown. I loved it. I hope people enjoyed that. I get a kick out of it. You know who it also would make life easier on if they were just to simplify would probably be Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, he's got enough on his plate, right?
Think about everything.
Guys are sitting behind the line, the batter's box, whacking him with their bat in his hand.
Jeez.
Plays every day, no days off.
Have you
DH? We got to have you in the lineup.
Yeah. Have you seen more of that this year? Why this year does it feel like there's been more batter catcher interference? Is there a rhyme or reason to it?
They're trying to take the low pitch and they're reaching for it to try to bring it up. To try to get it to be a strike. So, then they're getting their hand hit, I think. Plus, we got guys with, we've always, if you watch a game and you see what happens when hitters step in the box, a lot of them go to that back line and do a little rubbing of the back line, so they can get a little further back in the box. You don't call that very often. But a lot of guys want to get further back because you get a longer look at the ball, right? We check the pitcher for everything. We fleece him. It's like an arrest. He's being arrested after every inning. And then you look over the on-deck circle, and you got spray stick 'em, and you got pine tar, and you got the stick, and then they come to the batter's box and they step on the back line and rub it out. I mean, what else can we do for you? We can take all the seams off the baseball. How about
What do you
that?
think?
Do that.
What do you think the next step is for the pitching? Like, will there be like a metal detector as they come off of
Could
the
be.
mound and you're heading
Could be.
into the dugout? You got to go and go through the wand.
The wand. I
Yeah,
like the wand.
yeah.
It might be quicker. It'd be more definitive.
You would like to see the hitters go through something as they come up.
Well, they got all the stickum over there. They got every so they can have stickum, so they can get more bat speed, because we know how important that is. Bat speed's everything.
You love bat speed.
I love.
People don't know this about you,
I
Bill.
like bat speed. I like bat speed. I like quick bat.
Yeah.
Julio Rodriguez, you need a quick bat.
Yeah, but your middle name is Bat Speed. People don't know that.
It is. Yeah. So grip on the bat. That makes your bat quicker, right? You got a better grip on it, right?
Okay, they're 3 games away. So the next time we do this, they'll be past the 50 game mark. This has always kind of been a mark in baseball, right? 50 games, where we're at. Let's just say they're at 50 right now. Not a lot's going to change for them, probably. Yeah. They are what they are. So at this point in the season, who are they? Who are the Mariners?
I think the Mariners are a elite pitching team with a slightly less than average offense that needs to strike out a little bit less, and they need to be healthy, and they need to get their guys to start performing a little bit better. That they just have some guys that just need to get better. I think they're, to me right now, they have every bit of the chance to win the West. That's how I think.
Oh,
that's what I think. I think from what I've seen of Texas, we're better than Texas. So we can win the West. And right now, when you look across baseball, we need to win the West.
Yeah, they have to win it. Or
so they have to win the West based upon the Central being so much better and the East being a bully.
And got to be careful of Houston. I just, you know what? I think it was Raleigh that said it. They just are not going to go away. They are now. They're only 4 games back now. They've won 9 of 11, and they just got done taking 2 or 3 from the Brewers.
Yeah, I mean, you got the Island Misfits toys that are going to Sacramento. You got L.A.,
Yeah, they're done. But Houston is
right.
I'm more concerned about Houston than I am Texas.
Yeah.
Well, this is why
Texas is going to get Scherzer and DeGrom back at some point.
I just think that Houston, there is and I know Texas has it. Yeah. There is a championship DNA with Houston. And there's pride in that organization. I think there's pride with that front office. And I think they're going to look at where they're at right now. And everyone's told them now for the last month that they need to start tearing down and selling and rebuilding. And I think they're going to look at it and go, well, we're 4 games out. We've played terrible. We've had a bunch of injuries. No, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to be ultra aggressive at the deadline to get better. And they scare.
I think you're right, because I don't think Texas and Seattle had that ability to run away from the division.
Right.
They're going to be good, but they're not going to be running away type good. Oh. So the Astros are going to be there. They're going to be lurking, and they get their pitching a little healthier, and a couple spots they get sorted out, and they just get a little momentum. You're right. I mean, and if they're willing to kind of fix it a little bit, try to play like they're in it. They're a dangerous team. You're right, for sure.
Okay, so let's just go more on who they are. So they're good pitching, obviously very good pitching. The offense, the strikeouts, and all that. The additions, and we've talked about this before, Bill. They obviously will try to add a bat or two if they can. But as we discussed, I think last week, honestly, the priority needs to be to strengthen the strength of theirs, and that would be pitching it in their bullpen.
Yeah, I think so. They need help down there. They need they need an 8th inning pitcher. So that's a pretty good pitcher, right? Somebody that's kind of able to be a dominating type of guy. They need that for sure. Left-handers, I'm not really worried about. Baseball's not as big on left-handed specialists. It's not as big a deal anymore.
No, it's not.
It is in this series coming up. The fact that we have no left-handed starter and no left-handed relief, we have a couple left-handed reliefs. One, really, backing up Saucedo, right? And he's got his lunch in Baltimore. That park is it's still, you can have whatever you want from that, but that park is built for. I have more left-handed pitching and left-handed hitting than you do, so I win.
Yeah,
you got to keep people away from that side of the field, and that's what left-handed pitching does. So it's a problem. We have no left-handed starter. That's a problem coming into this next series. But
do you think that's an organizational thing? Is that an organizational philosophy to not, because everything that they've acquired in terms of starters, they kind of all look, well, they don't all look the same, but it feels sometimes the profile is the same with them. Is it just a happenstance? It's just one of those things. Hey, just if they could acquire a great left-hander, he was available, they go get it. Just hasn't been the case. Or do they steer away from that, you think, for some reason?
yeah, I think they like Brash and Munoz at the end, so you don't really need a hater. And I don't think you spend money on left-handed relievers.
Maybe
They had two left-handed starters, and they jettisoned both of them. Robbie Ray, because he's, they're waiting for him to come back, and
they had
money, and we got rid of Marco's money. But it hurts not to have one or two of those guys because it really mixes your rotation up. And some teams, this team we just got done playing, if we'd have had a left-handed starter, we might have won 2 out of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Never know. But yeah, I think huffing and puffing and blowing your house down with 5 right-handers, I don't think that works on everybody. I think having a left-handed starter is a good thing. I don't think they're doing it by intention. I just think they have young right-handed pitching that's powerful and great, and they're talented, and we're good there. I mean, that's just against certain teams, left-handed pitching matters.
Yeah. They're going to have some decisions to make here in playing time decisions. Luke Rayleigh obviously has been great in May, and he's been phenomenal. What do you do as players come back? JP will come back. Polanco eventually will come back. How do you roster manipulate playing time for Luke Rayleigh when guys come back? Where would you like to see him play? Do you want to see him play against left-handers, or do you like just using a platoon system with him but playing him more regularly?
I think what I've seen so far, he can play every day. He runs good. He sticks his nose in against lefties. He's done a decent job when he's had the chance, right? So to me, the trouble is that, we like Canzone, and we want to see if he's going to become something. He's got a lot of miss in his swing, a lot of miss, and he's average in the outfield. Really, he's a better outfielder, runs better. And then you got Dylan Moore, kind of your ace in the hole. So you can mix it up. You can get Canzone on the field. You can put Rayleigh at first. You can sit France against a tough righty. You can do that. And he'll go over to first. He can do that.
Yeah.
If you went out and got a really good corner in the next year or so, or developed one, and then you didn't want to pay France and really be your first baseman, that could happen. But that's not happening now, right? And, Urias is showing a little bit. And, boy, I'll tell you, the team, you take, when Garver and Polanco don't play, boy, the strikeouts go down, don't they? Yesterday they were up because Burns was tough. And we're vulnerable. I'll tell you what, our team, we're going to have to hit the starter. At some point, you're going to have to hit the starter. That's a problem. That is a long-term problem we've had with this team.
Mm-hmm.
This is not hitting the starter and trying to play the battle of attrition. We just keep matching you with zeros, and then we have more relievers than you do, but we don't have more relievers than you do.
But it's a weird stat because remember they had that stat where they didn't let any starter. Has it still? It doesn't still.
Oh
exist.
Yeah, that thing about not going 7 innings.
7, right? Remember they had that weird.
You know what I call that's a nifty stat.
It's a what stat?
It's a nifty. Nifty. I love it. It's nifty. It's fun. It's nifty.
Kind of cherry picking something a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I watch this team and they don't hit the starter.
Yeah.
That's where all the strikeouts pile up. Our only hope is that because baseball won't let starters pitch any further, we're just like, oh, he'll come out. He'll pitch 6. He'll be out. Then we might win. Then we might hit. Right?
What you mentioned Moore. What do you do? We mentioned Rayleigh. What about Moore? What do you do with Dylan Moore? He's played great in the absence there of JP Crawford, but when JP comes back, and we brought this up before, put him back in the leadoff spot. He's going to go back playing short. What role does Dylan Moore fill in? Just we go back to he fills in everywhere, or do you want to see him play more?
He's kind of almost he plays against every left-hander he plays. He's going to play probably in left field. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, that's tough because it depends on it. Everything depends, right? I mean, if Garver doesn't start hitting, we could do some things because Garver doesn't play anywhere. So you could do some stuff. You could mix France and Rayleigh in the DH, or you could put Canzone in the DH, and then you could put Dillon in the outfield. And there's lots of different things. You could put Haniger in the DH, and then you could have Dillon and Rayleigh in the outfield.
Right.
And there's just all kinds of ways you can maneuver it.
Yeah.
But and the same with Polanco. Polanco doesn't start swinging the bat. You got to start swinging the bat because our answer. Well, and then the answer is like you got. What we've seen is what I'm saying is we played a little bit better without Garver and Polanco.
Yeah, it was a long way for you to just say they're a better team without those two. Right. And okay.
And Julio's there's only like one regular that's got a lower slugging percentage than Julio. I don't know if we want to go there, but he's going to have to hit, man.
He's going to get going. You just wait. He's going to get going.
He's basically, if he couldn't run, he'd be hitting 230.
Yeah, he's going to get going.
He's got to do more.
All right, what do we got? June 24th, the golf club at Snoqualmie Ridge, Rise Above Golf Classic. You can more information, nativeyouthriseabove.org. How we doing? Tee times?
We're up in the neighborhood. We've got commitments that get our field full, but we still haven't sold all the spots. We probably sold 100 spots, and we've got the possibility of 144 spots.
Okay.
So, the field, the opportunities are shrinking. We're going to have a beautiful golf course. We're going to have a top-notch, first-class event, great food, great prizes, celebrities, you name it, and for a great cause. So look us up. If you love golf, you'll have a great time.
There he is.
Help our cause, which is to help men or Native American youth, and they need your support.
Yep. Go find more information, nativeyouthriseabove.org. Monday, June 24th, Golf Club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Bill Krueger, every Monday, brought to you by Rise Above Foundation, here on pucksports.com.